get the name? Because it's ghost, as in ghost bin. That ghost's been talking. Eh? Eh? No? Okay. Okay, now moving on to the actual video. Yeah, this is a new series. I decided to start it. I don't know how many episodes it's gonna have. Maybe it's gonna have only one. Maybe it's gonna have 20. Who knows? But yeah, basically this is just me talking about shower thoughts. Um, I'm hoping you, really hoping you'll know what shower thoughts are. But yeah, basically I'm just gonna talk about something. I don't quite know. Like, it could be anything. It could be anime, it could be video games, it could be science, it could be animals, it could be anything. But yeah. So for the first video in this series, I'm gonna stay relatively Minecraftly with discussing what netherite is, and more importantly, how heavy is netherite actually. Because what I mostly see is that people just assume that it's 4 times heavier than gold, which makes sense if you look at the crafting recipe, because one gold ingot is 1/4 of what the amount of gold as you put in a netherite ingot, so it makes sense. But it always really bothered me a bit, just because you have more than just the gold in there. You have netherite scraps. But of course we don't know what those netherite scraps are, so it's really hard to calculate. So my goal right now is just gonna be, what are netherite scraps? What is ancient debris? And to find that out, I first looked at netherite armor, because netherite armor has pretty similar stats to diamond armor. It gives you a bit more fire resistance and stuff, but it also has one key difference. While it gives you the same armor, it gives you one more armor hardness. And this is something really important, because hardness is something we also have in real life. And what has a hardness? Diamonds. What also has a hardness? Diamond armor. So what hardness does diamonds have in real life? Well, there's this little scale called the Mohs scale, which says diamonds have a hardness of 10. That is really useful, because that tells us that if we want to know what netherite is, we need something that is 50% or half of what diamonds are. There are 2 metals that come in question for that. There's cobalt and there's zirconium. As I said, it's zirconium. Both of which have a Mohs scale of 5. The next important thing is, since netherite doesn't burn in lava, it has to have a pretty high melting point. Looking at metals, the really only metal that comes in question of comparing it would be iron, because we know that iron still melts in lava in Minecraft. So it has to have, whatever metal we use, has to have a melting point that is higher than iron, which is 1538 degrees Celsius. Now, cobalt has a melting point of 1495 degrees Celsius, so it is out of the question, which is sad because I like cobalt, but that's beside the point. However, zirconium has a melting point of 1855. That is multiple hundreds degrees higher than iron, which technically makes it possible, at least, for it to be the metal. And since I don't really have any other options, let's go with that. Because another useful thing is it sort of looks, if you Google it, it sort of looks scrappy, being the metal. It looks a bit rough of a texture, sort of like it's multiple chunks just molded together. Like, it looks like debris. like ancient debris almost. Not quite the right color, but we're gonna take what we have. So, our next question would be now that we have the metal, how heavy is it? So, zirconium weighs 6.61 grams per cubic centimeter, and gold weighs 19.3 grams per cubic centimeter. Now, combining that and dividing it by 2, that'd be 19.3 grams plus 6.61 grams. Divided by 2, that would mean 1 gram of netherite as an alloy should weigh roughly 12.955 grams per cubic centimeter. In comparison to iron, which only weighs 7.8 grams per cubic centimeter. That should mean that netherite, a full block of it, weighs about 12.955 tons, which is quite a bit more than iron, but still a lot less than the normal 4 times gold is. That leaves one small problem. What we have right now is a formula for 1-to-1 scale, which works. It's 1-to-1, as in the alloys 1-to-1. However, the crafting recipes suggest something very different from weight, because for 1 netherite ingot you need 4 gold ingots and 4 netherite scraps, and 1 gold ingot is 1/9 of a block, which is 2.14 tons. That would be a lot more than what we have right now. That means 1 netherite ingot would already weigh 8.56 tons just from the gold. And ancient debris is even more, because ancient debris is just netherite. It has no stone in it other than gold ore, which has a very stony texture. You can just see some clumps of ore everywhere. But ancient debris is just the debris. That means that 1 block of ancient debris is actually 1 cubic meter of zirconium, which is 6.61 tons. That's 1 scrap. We have 4 of those per ingot. That means 1 ingot from the zirconium would be 26.44 tons. On total, together with the gold, that would mean that 1 singular netherite ingot would weigh exactly 35 tons. That's almost twice as much as a full gold block should weigh. And we're not done yet, because that's only a singular ingot. We need 9 of those for a block. So 35 times 9. That would be 315 tons for 1 block of netherite, which is over 16 times as heavy as gold, and a lot more than the previous calculation. But yeah, let's now calculate something that many people have done in the past, but with now our numbers, which is the amount of weight the Minecraft character should actually be able to carry in survival Minecraft. I'm saying survival just to simplify the whole, oh, but you can copy and paste filled chests with cheats and stuff, and therefore make the inventory like 2 billion times heavier. And that's just really annoying to calculate, so I'm just gonna ignore that part and just say survival. So in survival we have our inventory with 37 slots including the offhand, and each one of those slots could technically fit a shulker box, which itself can carry 27 slots per shulker box, which is a total of 999 slots that we have available to just put full of netherite. Each each slot can have up to 64 blocks of netherite inside of itself, which brings the total amount of blocks up to 63,936. And since each block weighs 315 tons, that brings us to a total of 20,139,840 tons. In comparison, the Eiffel Tower only weighs about 10,100 tons, meaning that our Minecraft player could carry about 1,994 times the Eiffel Tower, just in its inventory, just chilling around and still walking at normal speed, doing everything it does normally. Or another comparison would be the heaviest building in the world, which would be the Palace of Parliament, which weighs about 4.1 million tons. The Minecraft player could, even though that is incredibly heavy, like thousands of times heavier than the Eiffel Tower, the Minecraft player could still carry that almost 5 times. Yeah, this is a lot different of a result than I originally thought it would, because originally I believed it would be way lighter than what people normally guess with the 4 times gold. But apparently I was wrong. Very wrong. In a good way though. But yeah, with that being said, I really hope y'all enjoyed this video. And don't forget next time you play Minecraft that you're controlling a person that could steal the French's most well-known building almost 2,000 times.